Hello there, people with internet, and hello again, I'm TheMBmulti. Welcome back to Doki Doki Purist Mod. In the previous episodes, we spent the festival together with Yuri. We didn't see any of it because the game cut it, or the mod, cut it out. However, we did hold hands together, and afterwards we sort of confessed our feelings, although we were a bit too shy to say anything. But Yuri agreed, and we hugged. And now we're on our way to go back home or whatever. It's already evening as I head home. Normally I would be annoyed at walking home so late, but after today there's no way I can be upset. I run through the checklist of what happened today to reaffirm I'm not dreaming. I helped out at the festival, got to spend a lot of time with Yuri, and in the classroom we shared something and it meant a lot to both of us. We had to say our goodbyes before it got too late, but everything about today is still setting in for me. I feel my phone buzz. A text from Yuri. Thank you for today. Yep, it really was a great day. Thank you as well. See you tomorrow. I return home without issue and attempt to sleep. Everything kept replaying in my head, giddy excitement filling me every time. I don't know how long it took me to finally drift off, but sleep did not come easily. It's the day after the festival. Honestly, I barely remember how or when I fell asleep, but I somehow dragged myself back to school. I think the lesson is chemistry? Huh? I could get away with sleeping for just a little bit. Trick. Something just hit my head, I think. It takes a moment for me to locate the offending object. Lying next to the leg of my chair, a crumpled paper. Amazing. I unwrap the note, squinting to make out the scroll. Meet me outside after class. That's it, really? While I'm tempted to toss it back in their general direction, something keeps me holding it. I have the feeling that this shouldn't be ignored. Where outside? Outside is a big place. Technically, I'm missing literature club for a dumb note. Then again, after what happened at the festival, I should probably sort through my own feelings before seeing her again. Some 5-10 minutes later, a scruffy looking upperclassman arrives. Hey, you actually showed up. What's that supposed to mean? Well, how many times have people actually listened to notes that randomly hit the back of their head? Well, I was curious, so tell me, why'd you bring me here? The guy puts on a diplomatic smile, like he's trying to say something like he's trying to make some kind of deal. There's no easy way to say this, for me to say this, but you shouldn't be dating Yuri. Huh? Wait, what do you mean? I mean, aside from the fact that we aren't even... He raises his hands in an I know gesture. Look, I'm just saying it would be in your best interest not to get caught up with her. People saw you at the festival and, well, he shrugs. Over Yuri, literally anybody's a better choice. I know this will sound harsh, but there have been incidents. Yeah, incidents. Incidents? Look, I'm trying to be helpful. Steer clear of her, and that's all I'll say. You're a coward or yeah, sure? Well, obviously the answer is not going to be yeah, sure. I just can't keep quiet. You're a coward, you know that? He blinks, caught way off guard. Excuse me? I stare at him eye to eye. I don't need you, or even want you to tell me who I can or can't be with. And to think that you tried to do this all behind her back. I don't want any of what you're selling. I sling my bag over my shoulder, leaving him slack-jawed. My mind races. Why would he care about us? What did Yuri ever do? Who the hell does he think he is? I should get going. I'll probably be able to catch some part of the rest of the literature club. Not sure how I'm going to face Yuri after this, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. I slide open the literature club door and walk inside. Natsuki struts in behind me, a bulky magazine folded up under her arm. I should ask her about Yuri. Despite her vitriol, they do seem to be tolerating each other a little bit better lately. It wouldn't hurt to ask them if Natsuki has heard anything, even if it's unlikely for her to know about what happened. Hey Natsuki, can I talk to you outside for a second? Sayori and Monika both give me looks of confusion, but I shake my head slightly as I duck outside. A few seconds later, Natsuki walks out into the hall as well. Geez, what the heck is this about? Natsuki abruptly stops, seeing the expression on my face. You look kind of worried. What's wrong? I don't bother being coy. I tell her everything. Some guy took me aside after class. He said I should keep away from Yuri for my own sake, actually. What's that even about? How could anybody say something like that about her? Natsuki chews on the bottom of her lips, staring at some point on the floor. I guess you finally heard, Mark. Rumors about Yuri show up from time to time, yeah. But you know, that's all they are, right? Just rumors? You don't know anything else about it then? What are the rumors about anyway? The guy who mentioned them was pretty vague. It shouldn't matter what the rumors are, Mark. Like, I've gone to school long enough to know that rumors never end up being true anyway. Why should it be different for you? They're just not super widespread rumors anyway. If they were, I guess Monika probably would have heard about it and done something by now. Or maybe she already tried it and it didn't work. But you get my point, right? Yuri probably wouldn't want you to get involved with those rumors anyway. Natsuki raises her eyes to look at me. She really likes you, you know? I feel myself turning a little pink. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe... Okay, everyone! It's time to share poems! Natsuki huffs, straightening her blazer before walking off to retrieve her poem. I should probably get to mine as well. Go get mine as well. I came, I saw, I shared poems. Julius Caesar, if he entered the literature club. And Yuri wasn't even there. Hey, Mark. I glance over at Sayori. She has her head bowed, kicking absent-mindedly at the gravel in our path. I might be being nosy, but what were you talking with Natsuki about? Oh, so that's it. We never really discussed it, and I thought she'd just forgotten. I never seemed to give her enough credit, I guess. Mark? Well, I think you know about Yuri and I, right? Sayori nods, looking over me attentively. Yeah? Well, it's like there have been rumors. Rumors? I mean, somebody told me to stay away from Yuri. Sayori seems to have some reaction, the same reaction I did, confused and worried. That's mean. I know, but what can I do? He didn't tell me the why of it. Sayori gives me a tiny nod. I figured Natsuki might know why she's so insulated. Did you mean isolated? But she beat around the bush too. Do you know? I don't. Sorry, Mark. I reach over and prod her cheek, causing her to yell. Don't worry about it. It's my problem to deal with, okay? Sayori shakes her head, hefting her backpack. Mark? Yeah? I need you to understand that I'm here for you. We're here for you. I know. But do you? I feel like you're only holding back because you don't trust us. Sayori peers at me, her bubbly personality replaced by a serious demeanor. Well, if you have ideas, I'm welcome to hear them. Sayori nods, pushing the tips of her fingers together. Oh, come on! There's literally a sprite for that! Why don't you use it? There's literally a fucking sprite for that, where Sayori does that. Why don't you use it then, if you say that she does that? Well, why don't you invite her out? Then you could talk about it there. I was planning to, yeah. She claps her hands together, nodding. That should work. Just make sure you take her someplace nice. Nice? Well, you can't just take her anywhere, you know? Yeah, I know. Sayori skips it to a stop in front of my house. You better make a good impression. I'll be watching. I give a small laugh, waving. Keep me honest, okay? Sayori doesn't answer back. A bookstore, that should be easy enough, right? Unless you're me, who spent what should have been my sleeping hours searching up the prime location for what might technically be our first date. In which case it feels more like pulling out your own tooth. I'm sure she'll love it. Sayori grins, skipping alongside me as we head up to school. Okay, it's another day again. Okay, that was fast. She was the only one who helped me put this together, so she might have a point. And she's known her longer too. Sayori comes to an abrupt halt, eyes wide. While I'm looking around for whatever caused the reaction, she nudges me forward. It's Yuri! This is your chance! It is indeed Yuri, leaning on the street corner. Waiting for me? Maybe? I can only hope. I brush the front of my blazer, mouth suddenly gone dry. Sayori nudges me forward. Go on, this is what you planned, isn't it? I stumble forward, rehearsing the greeting as Yuri turns to me. Oh. Mar. Plus Yuri. Hi there! We say at the same time. If I could sink into the ground now, I would. At the very least, Yuri looks just as embarrassed. Sayori, Sayori told me you passed this way. I glance quickly over my shoulder. The woman in question has already fled the scene. Just as well, I guess. Well, here I am now, at least. Do you want to get going? Yuri nods quickly, and we quickly fall in step next to one another. I clear my throat nervously. Did you have fun at the festival? It was the first time I had actually helped at a club to set up their booth up. Yuri nods, a smile spreading across her face. I did. It was very heart-wrenching, I almost read. Heartening to see students enjoy our poetry. You mean your poetry, right? Yuri turns visibly pink. That's not true. Your poems at the least gave me the inspiration. I laugh, which makes her turn to me, pout on her face. I just write words and hope they stick. That was entirely you, and it was really good. Well, thank you. We keep walking in silence, but it's more of a cozy one than an awkward one. As we approach the school gates, I slow to a stop. And one more thing. Oh? You're still okay with our date after school? Oh, yes, definitely. Yuri perks up, suddenly on edge. Okay, that's great. Meet back here? Yuri nods quickly, grinning still. I should head to class soon. Right. She strolls off, leaving me to get to my own class. I know right now I won't be able to concentrate on schooling. Win some, lose some, I guess. In the end, it didn't take much more than Yuri and I are on a date to excuse us from the literature club, and for Yuri to turn on an interesting shade of burgundy. You didn't have to do that, Mark. Well, yeah, but I didn't want us to just buzz off without any warning. Yuri nods, smiling faintly. Anyway, the bookstore is really close. You might have already been there, actually. Well, maybe, but not accompanied. I smile in spite of myself, nudging her with my shoulder. First timer for everything, right? Yuri and I walk into the bookstore. I picked Jesus, can't read today. Yuri and I walk into the bookstore I picked for our date. My motherfucking god, I really can't read today. Anxiety swells throughout my body, as I'm afraid of the possibility that this won't go well. Luckily, there's a noticeably small number of people currently in this store, making it a great location for a date. At least that's what I hope. So, here we are. Well, here we are. Yuri looks over at me, struggling to make eye contact. Yes, we are. She looks about as nervous as I am, if not more. Man, what do I even do here? People go to bookstores to shop for books, right? But where do I even start? I guess it'd be easy enough to browse through and see if anything looks interesting. You like horror, right, Yuri? Well, she likes fantasy most, but whatever. Yuri peeks over at me again and nods her head. That is correct, I do enjoy horror. Would you like to look through the horror aisle then? The nervous expression on Yuri's face returns. Only if you want to. I don't think Yuri completely got what I was driving at, but it doesn't matter. We make our way to the horror aisle of the books, and I freeze up once we do. Man, now what? I know nothing about books. Yuri's basically an expert, so what am I supposed to do that won't make me look like an idiot? For now I glance through the various titles. If nothing else, at least I can admire the well-drawn cover art. Have you found a book you're interested in, Mark? Yuri catches me off guard, and I make a small jump backwards. I was just eyeing. I grab the nearest book next to me, not taking enough time to actually check what it is. At the Mountains of Madness? Yeah, I mean, the cover art looks pretty cool, I think. The empty snowy landscape makes you feel a little bit of dread, see? Well, that doesn't quite mean that the book itself is spectacular, but the front cover does make an impression. You think so? Yes, it's interesting how the cover art for a book can be the most iconic thing about it, even if the writing is subpar. I still feel a bit lost about how to interpret books and writing and all that, but Yuri seems like she knows what she's talking about, as usual. I think I'll buy this one, man. Is there anything you're interested in here, Yuri? Well, I go to this bookstore all the time. Yeah, I was afraid of that. And there doesn't appear to be any new in stock. So, Yuri looks away, frustrated. I should have told you I always go here, so you could have picked a different location. I can't even go without ruining our first date. Yuri's face falls even further. No, it's not ruined. The location isn't that what matters. I still enjoy being with you, even though I know nothing about books. Really? Yuri perks up a bit. Yeah, I'm on this date to spend time with you. Sure, it's unfortunate that I picked a bookstore where there is no books that you haven't already passed on, but who cares? That's not going to stop me from appreciating being with you. We even talked earlier about how this might happen, and I was fully prepared for it. Besides, I never even told you the specific location of where our date would be anyway. You have no reason to blame yourself. Well, if that's how you feel, thank you, Mark. I'm enjoying being with you as well. Awkward silence fills the air. Now what? Well, we both stare at the ground. Let's sit down. Once I buy this, I mean. After quickly purchasing the book, we move to a nearby table and sit down next to each other. Also, it's pretty crazy that the guy buys a book to prevent saying, oh, I was just spacing out. It's like he goes with the lie all the way to buying an actual book that he just randomly got off the shelf somewhere, rather than just admitting, oh, I was just staring off into nothingness. It's pretty crazy. Should we read together again then? Maybe later, but I wanted to talk to you a bit first. I see. That's understandable. So, how have you been? I've been well enough. Good. Nice weather we're having today, isn't it, Yuri? The awkward silence from before returns with a vengeance. Yuri lays her head down on the table, resting on top of her crossed arms. What am I supposed to do, Mark? I have no idea how dates are supposed to work. All I'm doing is wasting your time. No, not at all. Like I said, just being next to you is great. That sounds a bit silly, but alright. Words aren't always everything. Yuri seems a bit calmer after that comment. I suppose so. I decide to change the subject. So, I know you're into poetry, but have you ever tried writing your own book? Well, I've dabbled with writing fiction, I suppose. But publishing a book would require me to share my work, and, well, nobody would want to read that. Come on, Yuri, I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. It's true, though. Please, your poetry is incredible, so I bet that if you tried writing a fully fledged book, then it would be amazing. I'm not sure if you can make that comparison that easily. Writing poetry is much different than writing a traditional story. Dealing with a narrative structure, having to develop interesting characters, and all the other facets of that type of writing. It's a huge undertaking, and it's difficult for reasons other than why writing well-done poetry is difficult. I bet you'd be disappointed if you read any of my attempts at a novel. I doubt that. Maybe we could read your work sometime together. If you really want to, maybe one day. A smile tugs at the corners of Yuri's lips. Anyway, how about that book I just bought? Let's see what it's like. Yes, let's. Yuri and I read the book for a few hours, stopping about halfway through. What do you think of it? My impressions? It's hard to judge without having read the full story, but I'm enjoying it so far. Yeah, I'm not an expert on what good horror is like, but I had a fun time reading it. I think. This Lovecraft guy has a dark mind. Oh, so it is an actual book? What was the name again? I forgot what the name was. Oh fuck, I've already blasted the history doesn't go that far back. Yeah, quickly purchasing the book and stuff. Fuck! The history doesn't go that far back. I don't know what the name was called. On the Mountains of Madness or something, right? Let's see if that's actually a real book. Oh, at the Mountains of Madness. Yeah. It is a real book, apparently. At the Mountains of Madness is a science fiction and cosmic horror novella by the American author H.P. Lovecraft, written in February to March, wow, that was fast, in 1931, and published in 3 installments in 1936. Rejected that year by Weird Tales editor Farnsworth Wright on the grounds of its length, it was originally serialized at the February, March and April 1936 issues of Astounding Stories. It has been reproduced in numerous collections. Alright, so what is it about? Roughly? The story is narrated in the first-person perspective by the duelist William Dyer, a professor at Miskatonic Universe in Arkham, Massachusetts, aiming to prevent an important and much publicized scientific expedition to Antarctica. Throughout the course of his explanation, Dyer relates how he led the group of scholars from the university to a previous expedition to Antarctica, during which they discovered ancient ruins and a dangerous secret beyond a range of mountains higher than the Himalayas. Okay. Yeah, and a really creepy monster. Okay. They discover ruins and then there's like monsters and things. Beyond your comprehension, which makes sense. Yeah, this Lovecraft guy is a dark mind. It was pretty creepy, which I guess fits considering the genre, but this has kind of been a new experience to me. Having you right next to me made it a lot more comfortable though. Yuri's cheeks suddenly reddened. Thank you. We should read the rest of this sometime. I would love that. I've really enjoyed this date, Yuri. Ah, that's right. I had forgotten that this was a date. I've enjoyed it as well. We look into each other's eyes until Yuri recoils from nervousness. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this. It's fine, Yuri. We can go as slow or as fast as you'd like. You must really like me, don't you? To be able to tolerate my company and actually enjoy going to a bookstore with me. There's not many people like that. I'm thankful that you feel that way, the way how you do about me. Hey, I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there who would be honored to be in a relationship with you. I'm honestly shocked that you even like me in a good way, of course. Less people than you think, Mark. A lot less. Yuri seems to be saddened from this conversation. I have to find a way to salvage this. Well, you've got me now, right? And the rest of the literature club too. Regardless of how many people like you, what's important is that there are people who do like you. What more do you need? I suppose that's one way to put it. Yuri seems slightly happier after hearing that, chuckling softly to herself. I'd love to spend more time with you today, but it's going to be evening soon, isn't it? We should probably get ready to leave now. Disappointment flits across Yuri's face. True, I wish we could be together for longer, but I guess this is how it is. Yeah, sadly so. We hold hands together as we leave the store. We also, we're not even, close, where we just like spending time together or whatever. No, we're in a full-fledged relationship. Just like that. But so Yuri was all complicated and things, and he's like, oh, no. We didn't even, specifically confess or whatever. It's just like, yeah, I kind of want to be more than friends. Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, no, great. And then a day later, yeah, we're first date. Or a few days later, first date. As we walk, though, I notice a certain someone on the sidewalk. That guy. Oh, great. He's from my school, isn't he? The one who warned me off. As I stop to look at him, he spots us. A small smirk spreads over his face as we simultaneously recognize one another. Mark? I look away and begin walking again. Sorry, it's nothing. Yeah, it would make sense to see him around town every once in a while, I think. Why did this time feel so ominous? A premonition? Maybe the smirk? Yeah, that was sort of creepy. Not that it matters, I guess. And wasn't I supposed to talk about the rumors going on with Yuri? Ugh, I guess I'll just have to wait until next time. Oh, and then it's been a week or so. Alright, well, I'll make this a bit of a shorter episode, but yeah, that was interesting. With our first date at the bookstore. Although not that much happened, honestly. And of course, MC didn't talk about those rumors, whatever they may be. So I guess that's the reason why Yuri doesn't have that many friends. People just constantly talking shit about her or something. I mean, I do wonder if it has something to do with her self-harm or not, or whether it's just crazy stuff that they just randomly happen to make up. But yeah, I also found it a bit odd how the entire club is just banding together to make sure that Yuri and I get together. You know, it's pretty weird. I mean, Monika wing-womaning for us was a bit, sort of expected in the sense that we know that Monika is self-aware, who's just pretending to play along in Purist. But yeah, it's a bit odd that like she managed to get the entire club so invested in this romance between MC and Yuri. I mean, she said like, "Oh, I'll take care of Sayori." I thought that was going to be a bigger issue, that Sayori, because of course her depression doesn't just magically go away. But I guess if Monika is still self-aware, she can just do this, and then Sayori's depression is gone. So I guess that's, you know, that's what happened. But yeah, she got the entire club involved in focusing on the relationship between MC and Yuri. It's a bit of a weird contrast as well, because in the previous route, in the Sayori route, one of my points of critique was that I thought it was a bit odd that we didn't meet any of the other club members ever. It was only me and Sayori the whole time, and then only occasionally you would see Monika a little bit, and that was it. You never really got any more interaction with the others after that. But here it's the opposite, that where we have interactions with the others, but they're all focused on getting me and Yuri together for some reason and nothing else. Which is a little bit too much the other direction, you know? Like, there has to be a balance. Like, it's either nothing at all or way too focused on this. Like, there can be a balance. Just because they're in here on the Yuri route doesn't mean I all have to do something with Yuri. I mean, again, that's maybe my grand want a fully fledged huge-ass story minds at work here. Partially influenced by Blue Skies, partially influenced by just, you know, if this were a real slice of life anime or whatever, what, you know, you would develop the other characters too, regardless of who Endgame is, you know? But obviously, this is just a little Doki Doki mod, so it doesn't necessarily have to do all that work. But that's something that I really appreciated from Blue Skies, that they also developed the other characters a little bit. I mean, there weren't really any choices that you could make to make that happen, except with the Yuri route, where you could choose to encourage her to talk to Natsuki. But there was only one choice, and after that, Yuri did everything on her own. But yeah, that's they sort of developed the other characters, like that moment in the playground where they all sort of revealed part of their secrets to each other. When Yuri and Natsuki get better friends with each other, and then at the end you video call with, I believe you video call with Natsuki, and then Yuri's there in the background, and she's a bit embarrassed about being in the video call, but Natsuki's just chilling out with Yuri to show how much she's grown, and also the fact that she calls MC is also showing that she grew closer to him as well, or tolerates him a lot better. So yeah, there's lots of little things that sort of indicate that there was, and also the hints of the Monika route that never came to be, you know, like there was no Monika route in Blue Skies, which was really stupid, but there were also hints to sort of hint at the Monika route, like before they cut it, of course. There were hints for Monika's problems or whatever those were going to be if the Monika route was implemented in other routes. There were things where Monika started to help you out, or where she would confess some things or talk about some of her problems and stuff like that. So even in those, those situations where you had already selected one girl's route, there was still a bit of development for the other people of the club. They were just present a bunch of times. Like you would always, if you had the Christmas shopping thing, you would always go Christmas shopping with not the girl whose route you're on, but you would be, because that's the name that you drew for the Secret Santa thing. And you would always go ahead and go shopping with one of the others. Like when I was on Sayori's ride, I went shopping with Yuri, I believe, and I went with Yuri. When I was on Yuri's ride, I was shopping with, I believe it was Natsuki. I believe with Natsuki's rides, I was actually shopping with Natsuki, but then Venus interfered with my date. Or maybe that wasn't the Christmas episode, but whatever. Or Christmas scene. But yeah, like that. There were like bits and pieces where the others were involved as well. They weren't completely cut out. Here it's either they don't exist anymore, or they're all focused on this relationship between MC and Yuri. Like, no, there can be something in between where they're present and it doesn't all revolve around that. It's a bit odd that everybody's just so fucking ridiculously focused on getting MC and Yuri together. Well, I can understand why they would be invested, because they all care about Yuri and they know that Yuri is very lonely. They don't want to say it out loud, I imagine, but they do know that Yuri is very lonely. And then seeing Yuri being in love with somebody, and then also just seeing Yuri being happy in that sense, makes them all want to support this relationship and want to help make this come to fruition so that Yuri can be happy because they care about her. So, you know, in that sense, I do understand why they care so much, but we didn't really get to see any of that. I only know that because I've played so many mods and because I have got so many interpretations of the girls and stuff. So, but if this was the first mod that I played, you know, that would have been a bit different. And there was no explanation shown or anything. It was just like Monika did that, and then everybody got an update in their code to say, hey, you have to care about MC's and Yuri's relationship now. Okay, say Sayori and Natsuki. So I felt like they could have smoothed that out a little bit better. But whatever. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you for the next one. Waleta.